What's good, everybody? So, as many of you know that follow sports or watch the news, there was a tragic injury yesterday on Monday night's football game. 24-year-old Damar Hamlin was injured pretty badly by a hit that he took to the chest while trying to tackle one of his opponents. Here, we can look at it real quick.
It's not what any of us want to see, and everybody's around him, and just hope that he's going to be
That's
okay.
him, number 3. He's getting up, and then he'll collapse. He never got up after that hit. At first, it seemed like it wasn't that big of a hit, but apparently, it seems like the young man, unfortunately, has suffered a heart attack. It was like a perfect blow to his chest, and obviously, something tragic has happened. They were giving him CPR on the field. It was something that was very eerie. It was a scary situation for everybody there, and I'm sure for his family it was much worse than any of us can even imagine or fathom, right? They ended up taking him off the field in the ambulance, and as far as we know right now, he's in critical condition. There's not much more news to report on that situation. But what I am here to report is how callous some people can be that work in the industry. And when I say people, I'm referring to one of the co-hosts of the Skip and Shannon show, Undisputed. It's a very, very popular show that they speak sports, and Skip Bayless is no person that is without controversy. He always, speaks his mind and sometimes gets right to the line. But on this one, I truly believe he crossed the line. Let me show you what he tweeted soon thereafter that injury happened to Damar. Let's get this thing a little bit larger for you guys to see. He says, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems irrelevant." Now, I could see if this was not a life-threatening injury. If it was an injury where it was maybe a career-ending injury, where somebody broke a leg, broken arm, something that you still see the person conscious, leaving, and it's kind of like, what, the show must go on. I can completely understand somebody saying something like that, but when you're giving somebody CPR in the middle of the field, he's not waking up from this thing, and there's no signs of him actually coming out of this at the moment. You had players crying on the field. I mean, these guys were obviously distraught, and for all the right reasons. One of their friends, one of their coworkers, one of their teammates is literally or possibly dying on the football field because of the game. And it's part of the game, getting hit, but being taken off in a ambulance and fighting for your life shouldn't be part of that game, and it definitely shouldn't. You shouldn't make all those young men go back in there and play the sport just because you think the game must go on. If that was one of your family members, Skip, I can guarantee you would not be thinking that same way. It's one of the most insensitive things I could even think of somebody, especially somebody who works in that field, who is around these gentlemen all the time. You, if anybody else, should know much better than just sit there and kind of, you know what, the game must go on. And there's plenty of other people who feel the same way. And I'll show you some. Let me see. This is a tweet from Isaiah Thomas. "I hope they fire you, bro. For you to even think of this is very sad." And it really is. I mean, I can't even begin to understand what Skip was thinking, how he thought that you can just sit there and make a tweet like that and say, "Hey, the game must go on." No, the game doesn't go on. The game should stop as it did. There is no way you're going to get a good, clean game after something that just happened like that. It won't work. Skip later on went on to make a half-ass apology that you can tell was scripted. He went on to say that, one of his bosses asked him or told him, hey, man, this thing's really taking off on Twitter. And he says that he doesn't follow Twitter. He just posts stuff. And that, he really didn't mean it that way, that he started saying stuff about, he can remember when John F. Kennedy was killed, and they had games after that, after 9/11, and we had baseball games after that, that there's it must go on for us to heal. But this happened during the game. This wasn't something tragic that happened in the United States and then we had a game coming. That I completely understand too. It gets people back to being normal. But this is something that happened live on air, Monday Night Football. A young man is fighting for his life. A family is sitting there distraught trying to find out what's going on. Teammates are trying to find out. But what Skip wants the game to go on. Skip wants to just, let's keep it going. In other words, he's looking at the people that are playing football. He's not looking at them as human beings. He's just looking at them as people that play sports for him and entertain him. And he should be ashamed of himself for what he said, what he tweeted, and for that half-ass apology. I just want to put this out there so people can see the reality of how some people think, man. Whether you agree or disagree with me, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. To me, it's wrong by every means there is. It's absolutely wrong. And I believe that ESPN should fire him. He should not be on that show anymore because he obviously is just a cold-hearted guy who's just about want to watch the game without worrying about any health of anybody else playing the game. All right, man. With that, I'm out. You guys have a good one.